Hello, expanded awareness community. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you to let you know that I'm going to be hosting a free training specifically around healing PTSD and childhood trauma in order to rocket relationships and our quality of life. And, why would that be? That healing PTSD and childhood trauma would rocket our relationships? Well, we can only come to the world from a place of who we are. We can only perceive the world from a place of who we are. And so often, PTSD, childhood trauma, well, it makes us feel broken. And if we feel broken and we get into a relationship, well, chances are the best we can ever feel is that we are about a half a circle. And then we're in search of another half a circle. And then it becomes the Jerry Maguire, you complete me. Now, while that sounds lovely for a movie, where that becomes problematic is the second that that person no longer starts fulfilling their end of the bargain and starts and makes us feel complete, well, often a lot of resentment can really rise up and it can cause a whole lot of problems. But if we can heal our PTSD and heal our childhood trauma, instead of going to the world as a half a circle, we can go as a full circle in search of somebody else who's also a full circle. Instead of one half plus one half equals two one halves, not even a whole, right? Just two one halves. You can have a situation where you have synergy, where right the sum is greater than the whole is greater than just the sum of its parts, and you can have a one plus one equals 11 situation. And look, I myself, right, I was raised in very violent childhood. Growing up, I felt broken. I felt like I'm my own worst enemy. Later I joined the army. 8 days after September 11th, I went to my first war zone. Less than a year later, I was in my second war zone. So just trauma on trauma on trauma. It ruined two marriages, right? Made it hard for me to connect my son when he was first born and for the first few years of his life. He and I still, talk about it to this day. I was pretty rude, right? Because I didn't like myself, right? And since I didn't like myself, it was hard for me to have the patience that I needed for him. So relationships aren't just, loving relationships or romantic relationships, but it can be with our family as well, with our friends as well, right? And when we heal ourselves, well, everything changes. And so what I'm going to be providing here is a great framework to be able to use with this, right? Because healing, the way that I do healing, right, comes from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, well, what happens is, right, through meditation, then we reach up and we connect to the soul. But often this can get in the way. And when we're no longer actively meditating, if this is in the way, well, then it can start to create limiting beliefs, start creating blocks. And so what I do is give you some steps to get this on board with your heart. And so that way you can supercharge your ability to manifest what you want, supercharge your ability to become that person that you want, to heal your relationships, to heal that sad, hurt, scared little boy or girl in your heart. And you'll find that everything in your life will transform when that happens. And so show up. This will be August 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And look, I am so excited for this. It took me decades for me to figure this out. It took me decades. And so rather than you having to spend the next decade or more trying to figure this out, well, just show up to this workshop. Just show up to this free training. And what I'll do is I'll give you some actionable steps. Not just theory, but things that you can actually take and start to apply in your life. So then that way you can go ahead and actually find a manner in which serves you. Right? Some of these things are going to be, hey, how do we quiet the noise in here, right? The chaos that distracts us, that disrupts us in order to focus on what we want. How do we, right, quiet the enemy, right? What makes us feel like we're our own worst enemy, which I did for so long, and actually alchemize that and transform it into being our friend. And having that voice be a champion for us instead of just constantly beating us down. And those two things alone are going to transform anyone's life who deals with these sort of issues. But that's not all I'm going to be teaching. Show up to the free training. Show up. You'll find some amazing benefit. Tune in. Tune out the distractions. Get some actionable steps. And I'll see you there. Again, this will be August 30th. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, as I love, Chris and Michael, man, they have such an awesome, vibrant, souls and the community that they have, right, it is incredible. And I want to welcome you. I want to welcome all of you to be able to come to this free training so you can have benefit. And I'll make sure that the link is provided so you can go ahead and register. Go ahead and register now, because look, at the end of the day, if I can heal somebody who was so incredibly hard-headed, somebody who demanded that their model of the world was the only right one, well then look, anyone can heal. And so come, show up. Again, August 30th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there, show up, transform your life.
Hello, everyone. If you resonated with Josh's message, click the link below to register for his life-changing class and experience some shifts. We thank you so much from Expanded Awareness.
Yes.